Howdy y'all, and welcome back to I Am Able Because I Am is Able. So, thank you everyone who was a big part of my birthday. I'm sorry my dog is having a tantrum and I don't know why. I had both a lovely and difficult birthday all at the same time. I became an auntie twice in 1 week, so that was definitely on the top of the wonderful part of my birthday. Also, a hilarious trip to Golfland with one of my dear friends at church, and some wonderful cards and gifts for my birthday. It was a really sweet day, and I even got to play a little bit of Wii, and yeah, it was really good. The hard things were having to do with my body. There were some hard realizations of things I may never be able to do again. I'm not really able to talk about it at the moment because some things I don't really want to say I necessarily can't, but it would definitely take some work before I could. And one of those major deals is something that I can no longer eat anymore, so that's really hard. And I won't act like those things didn't exist and those things didn't make my birthday difficult, because I would feel like I am telling you a lie, which I don't like doing. I want to be honest on here. Okay, but one thing I wanted to talk to you about, though, that happened about a week after my birthday, speaks to this whole series, and I really feel like this platform of YouTube is to kind of bridge the gap between the abled and the disabled, and even sometimes people who find themselves suddenly disabled, and how we kind of talk about that. So, at least that's part of the platform here. And one of the things that really surprised me, brought up something that has happened before, but I thought I had a handle on it, and that was while cleaning my room last week. I went through a bunch of my cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, get well cards, all of the like, that I haven't really gotten to go through in the last couple of years that well. I do open any kind of cards that I get in the moment, or at least I try to, but sometimes I'm kind of sidetracked while I do it, and, well, here we go. I was going through a bunch of my cards, and I actually found a check for a birthday gift last year from a friend of mine. And I realized I hadn't done anything with it. It had stayed in the envelope. And here's why I'm bringing this up. One of the most unexpected side effects of sudden disability, or even sometimes major stress in your life, is forgetfulness, or short-term memory problems. And for me, that has happened a few times. The strongest occurrence that I ever had of that was actually when at least to my knowledge, was when we had the floor collapse in our kitchen from water damage, and we were out of our house for 4 months. I was in 2 weddings in a month. I had my uncle die, my grandfather move. It was a lot of stress all at once, and it was the end of the year, and I realized in the summer that when I found some things, that I had totally forgotten to ever thank people for certain gifts, because I didn't even remember they happened a few minutes after they were given to me. I completely forgotten about them, and then they show up like in my bedroom somewhere when I'm cleaning up. And I'm like, whoa, wait, I think I vaguely remember this, but I don't even know who gave it to me. And it's really difficult sometimes when you are a thankful person usually, and you pride yourself in being a good friend, when you realize you don't even know if you thank someone for this object. You don't even know if, what happened with this, when you got it, and you have no recollection of it at all. And sometimes you can feel like a really terrible friend. On the flip side, I haven't experienced this part yet, but I imagine it could be. If you're a friend of someone that's going through this, it can be kind of difficult to take sometimes. If there was maybe an important conversation that happened, or a really important thing that you got for them, or gave to them, or did for them, and they never thanked you, never did anything. And yes, sometimes people are ungrateful, but if your friend is going through major stress or major disability that they're not used to, or maybe their family member is, life gets crazy. and it's really hard to keep all of the information in your head at all times. One of the tricks that I do to combat that, or I try to do to combat that, is take a lot of pictures. If you are really involved in my life, you might notice that I take a lot of pictures, but I don't really post a lot of pictures. Part of the second half of that is that I really value other people's privacy, and so I really have a hard time sharing other pictures with other people in them for the other person's sake. But I really value taking pictures because for me, that's my brain. When I was going through that stress block, I try to always write our Christmas letter at the end of the year, and I realized I couldn't think of anything to be grateful for. It just seemed like a terrible year, and I was like, but I got to challenge myself to find the things to be thankful for this year, but I don't know what they are. And I literally went through my pictures, my mom's pictures on her cell phone, my pictures from my cell phone, our camera pictures, any kind of pictures, and suddenly I was piecing together so many blessings that God had brought into our lives. Now sometimes, yes, it can be an skewed amount of, blessings versus cursings, and sometimes it can give us the wrong idea when we look at just pictures, but I challenged myself way back then, about, 4 or 6 years ago, I know it's an even number, to anytime I felt hugely stressed, make sure to take pictures, even of the bad things in life sometimes. Not super morbid, but of the things that I could feel at that moment would have a big impact on me if I would know about them. Partially to see where God had brought me through, not just what He gave to me, but some of the things He brought me through, or my family through. So as morbid as it may seem, yes, I did take a picture of my mom right after her fall, so that she could remember it and so that we could remember it, but not immediately. I didn't share it with anybody unless Mom told me to. I saved it, but it was more so that we could see her progress as she was recovering through this. I've done the same with myself. I've challenged myself to even take a picture of myself when I'm like really, really tired, when I am in a lot of pain, when I have my brace on. It's not flattering. I don't like the pictures, but I'm taking them. And I'm taking the pictures in the good times, and sometimes that's hard for certain friends. Last year, I have great respect for one of my dear cousins, and they came to visit, and I had a talk with them for a couple of times, asking them, pleading with them, if I could just take a few pictures of while they were here. And it wasn't, this cousin in particular really does not like pictures of themselves, and I completely respect that. I have total appreciation for that feeling. And my reasoning for taking pictures while they were here of them with me was not to embarrass them, was not to spread their picture, but was completely for my memory's sake, so that I wouldn't forget what they looked like, so I wouldn't forget their trip here, because it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I shared my heart with them. So if you're going through one of these moments, I challenge you, in a good way, to be honest with your friends and your family. Maybe you are a new mom or a new dad, and that's stressful, and you're trying to figure out how you can keep all the memories in your brain space, but there's not enough time in the day. If you know certain tricks that work for you, talk with your family about that. If you're having problems with pictures being taken, talk with your family about that. But if you need pictures being taken, again, talk with people about that. For me, I need pictures taken the last couple of years because it's just been so much. And I want to remember the blessings, and I want to also remember what God has brought me through, not just what He brought me to. So, yeah. What are some of your tricks when, life just gets a little crazy. There's too many balls in the air. There's too many, things happening at the time. How do you keep track of your blessings? Have you ever experienced a situation with one of your friends where there was a misunderstanding because they forgot something that was really important to you? I encourage you to talk to your friends if that was an issue in love. I personally have reached out to that friend that I found the check from, and we're all good. But yeah, so I want to hear from you, your thoughts. Keep it loving, and hope to hear from you. God bless. Ciao for now. It's getting too dark to keep filming, so bye.